Hello, good morning, everyone. Oh, yes, welcome to my Recovery Talk live chat. We are going to wait a little bit until people get in and watching us. So, my guest is a beautiful and amazing teacher and mentor, Charlotte Disorger. Yes. And yes. And well, I would like to introduce her because she's a so inspirational woman for me. And she went through a lot of things as well. She actually had a total knee replacement 2 years ago. And we are going to talk about this. I checked your YouTube channel as well, and obviously Instagram as well, and Facebook. And this is very surprising. I was very surprised as well because I found a video with one of your choreography, which was a beginner drum solo. Mm-hmm. And I was watching the video and I got shocked because I said, "Oh my God, I know this. I learned this choreography."
Oh, really?
And then yes, and then it popped in my head that, okay, when I had this accident, I lost my short memory for that year, 2014. And well, I'm sure that you teach me this in one class. And then when I saw the video, it came back and I was like, oh my God, I met her. So, well, yeah, it's very...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So would that have been at Danceworks in London?
Well, it didn't come back which studio it was, but the choreography and your face as well. So it was very good, very good. Yes. So okay, so welcome Charlotte as well, and I would ask you to introduce yourself a little bit, that what you are doing, and so what is your job and your activities, what you do?
Yeah, so I am a belly dance teacher, and I've been a belly dance teacher for about 20 years, so almost 20 years. So I was a belly dancer before that. I was performed as a belly dancer, but then I also spent quite a few years in between. I spent quite a few years running a business with my husband, which was a marketing business. And then in 2000, I came back to belly dancing again, and I started to teach. And then I built a school. Belly dancing became very, very popular at that time because of Shakira, I think.
Yes.
That's belly dance. And so I started a school, and that school grew, and then I started to put on big shows with my students. So we'd sometimes have 100 women dancing in a show, 100 women on stage belly dancing, which was amazing. And over the years, I've done all sorts of other things. I've run belly dance festivals, and I've done a lot of shows. I've had a performance company, a touring company, and I also run a teaches belly dancing to women who have suffered from severe emotional trauma and physical trauma. So specifically women who have fled from violent abuse, domestic abuse, and women who've escaped from sex trafficking and slavery, and have escaped from war, or who are recovering from rape and sexual violence. So our charity teaches women. Basically, it's really a way of getting women together and discovering that, the joys of belly dance. Through the joys of belly dancing, it helps them to feel better about themselves, and it's also a lovely sort of activity for women to do together. Women who've been through terrible trauma.
Lovely. Yeah, it's a very nice gesture and cause for that. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's actually a lot of dancers, teachers. Actually, they do it for like help mentally with other women. It's very nice.
Yes.
So and well, I will ask you, when was your surgery? Because like your previous years, you were very active, and and the reason why you decided to go under the surgery, under the knife.
So I think I was probably always going to have problems with my knees because I have wide pelvis. And so my knees, my legs, rather than going straight down, they go slightly inwards. And so therefore I always had tracking problems with my knees. So they were from when not always, but from when I was about 40, 42, 43, something like that, I started to have pain in my knees. And it is quite common, particularly as women get older. So I started to have pain going up and down stairs. And then about 8 years ago, I tore the meniscus in one of my knees, just getting into bed. It wasn't dancing or anything like that. So it was just a case of, as you get older, these things become, the cartilage becomes a little bit sort of, less strong. And so I tore the cartilage, so I tore the meniscus. And so I had an operation to repair that. It took quite a long time for the hospital to get around to giving me the operation, but because, first of all, people didn't believe I'd torn it, but I was pretty sure I'd torn it anyway. So it was about 6 months of that. And then just after I'd recovered from that, I tore the other one, just walking along the street. And when I was having the operation to repair the second one, the surgeon said, look, inside you've got a lot of osteoarthritis around the knees. He said, and I think you're going to have a knee replacement at some point. And I knew that was going to happen, but I had to wait until it was bad enough before they would do the surgery. So for about 7 years, I had a long time when I was in pain quite a lot, really, and unable to perform. So I was still teaching. So I was still teaching full time. When you're teaching, you're able to modify a little bit more. When you're dancing, you have to kind of be more, you're challenging your body a lot more when you're actually performing. Yeah. So I stopped performing for about 7 years. And finally I had 2 total knee replacements 2 years ago. And I recovered and started performing again in November last year. So my first was in November last year.
Nice. Before your surgery, did you try any injection for your arthritis?
Yes.
Because they actually say it lasts for like 6 months. So, but they say it's effective, but when it's wearing off, it's less, obviously. And a lot of surgeons, they say it's just a temporary solution for pain and knee arthritis. I
tried all sorts of things. I tried turmeric. That helped for a while. That did help, but only a certain amount. It didn't really last that long. And I also tried CBD, which is the cannabis derivative. Which
the oil thing,
yeah. But that didn't really help, to be honest. And I also tried steroid injections, which lasted like 2 weeks.
It lasted 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just 2 weeks. Yeah. So it wasn't going to, it wasn't something that was really going to work. So that was when I said, look, I actually was quite tough with the NHS in the end. I said, look, I have to have this because they were saying, oh, well, you're young and everything. And I said, look, I have to have this because I can't work. If I can't work, I can't pay my taxes. So give me the operation. It got to the point where by the time I actually had the operation, I was having to walk with a walking stick. So I really, really did need it.
You really had to have it, yeah. Yes.
I had a sip of coffee. I forgot I was on camera.
And you actually, you told me before, but the viewers. So you had your knee replacement separate. So you have it one, So what? Yeah, separate.
Yeah. So I had my first knee replacement in May 2018. And then I had my second one in December 2018. So my first one was about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And my second one was 18 months ago. And they say that really for a total knee replacement, it's really about 2 years recovery. And I think that's about right, actually, because my right one really does feel very good these days. My left one is still a little bit problematic, that's the one that's a little bit newer.
Yeah, it's usually, they actually say that the recovery, like 80%, you recover the 80% of the recovery, you manage it like in like half year, but the 20% is still it's a longer time to do. Yeah, definitely. And I feel it as well, actually. I felt it, kind of. Yeah. Well, I've got these questions as well. I'm looking at these, but so did you have to use a wheelchair or any aids during the recovery?
So I had a wheelchair just for a very short time, just for a couple of days, and then they really encourage you to get mobile as quickly as possible. So I was in hospital for 3 days. And they try and make you get up and, go to the bathroom and things like that very, very quickly, which really you do not want to do because, my goodness, it hurts. And it's scary as well. To be honest, it's frightening because you think you're going to fall down and you think if you're going to fall over, then the prosthetic is going to break. You have this fear that it's not doing properly. And, if you fall over, then your leg will fall apart.
Yeah, or pops out, something pops out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they took me, I had a wheelchair to go to the car. And then after that, it was once I was home after 3 days, then I had crutches. I was working with crutches and just trying to get around. But at first, the pain is quite bad with a knee replacement. So you don't really mobilize very much. But you have to try and do as much as possible because the more you mobilize, the better your recovery is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And when were you able to walk with the crutches? Like, walking like at least to the kitchen and back after the surgery. Just like estimate how long was it?
Well, after I was home, probably 1 or 2 days. I did push myself though. I'm a great believer in, even if you're frightened, you just do something. If you allow yourself, because it is a little bit frightening, but I just feel I'm somebody that will say, no, I know I'm frightened, but I must do it. Because I knew that if I had to do those things because otherwise I wouldn't recover. And the thing that I wanted to do more than anything else was I had to recover. I had to recover as quickly as possible because I was not going to sit there and, be disabled, if you like.
Well, yeah. Actually, you mentioned it before with the chat. We talked about this, that actually you had 2 theater shows, and that's why you had to recover. So how was it? I would like to the viewers know as well, because it's really.
Yeah. So my company was on tour. We were doing a touring show. So we weren't actually, when you're, the sort of tour we were doing, it wasn't every week or every day. We basically would have several dates. So we would have production one, it was always on a Saturday. So we one Saturday and then another Saturday a few weeks later, and then another Saturday a few weeks later, and that's happened. And I knew I had to, and this was going on for almost a year, this tour. So I knew I had to have the surgery somewhere in between. So what I did, I said to them, how long before I can drive and actually go back to work? And they said a minimum of, they said really 3 months, but if you push it, you could do it in 6 weeks. So I said, okay, I've got one window where I have one show in Bristol and another one in Hereford, and there's 6 weeks in between. So that was the only opportunity that I had. So I said, okay, I have to schedule the operation immediately after the first show, and then I will be able to do the second show. So I said, I've got to recover in 6 weeks. And I said, I said to them, is that possible? And they said, well, you're mad, but yes, you could do it. And I did it.
Yes, you see, like a human body is amazing. Yeah. And well, the mind, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And about the weight bearing. How was it? So like when you could do it full weight bearing straight after the surgery, they actually told you to do that, or how was it?
No, you can't really weight bear on the leg that you had. It's one of the reasons that they don't like to do in this country. They don't like to do 2 at once, is because you really can't get around. You have to. You can't put the. You can't weight bear. You have a lot of swelling from the knee swells very badly, and that the swelling continues for about a year, and that's one of the things that causes the pain. It's just reminded me. I couldn't. Yeah, I just remembered that. And so, yes, you can't weight bear, which is why you need crutches. So I suppose I needed crutches. I needed 2 crutches for about 2 weeks. And then I went to 1 crutch after that. And then I kind of walked around just holding onto the wall.
Yes.
So full weight bearing? Probably, I don't know. I can't really remember, to be honest. I can't really remember. I couldn't stand on. I mean, I could stand on the two legs after a couple of weeks, really. But taking most of the weight on my good leg.
Yeah, it reminds me that when they told me, like, all the visit when I went, they told me when I can, do like 20% weight bearing, 30%. So, and I remember that I was like in front of my mirror and I was trying just to do, and then, and I was doing like belly dance movements as well, like shifting and stuff. I know how is it.
And upper body things, lots of arms.
Oh lots of arms, sitting there, but because of you using the crutches, you will have pain in your back if it's not strong enough, or even if it's strong, you will have, because you're using that more than you used before. So all those muscles, you have to do something extra as well with different movements.
The other thing as well is that I really did do my the exercises that they gave me. I made sure that I did those every day. I think we're lucky if we have, if we are dancers, and particularly because I've been a dancer all my life. So I've been a dancer since I was 5. So I'm 62 now. So I've been dancing since I was for 60 years nearly. So I have a good awareness of what's happening in my body. I understand how my body works. So I was able to sort of make sure that I did those exercises in a way that I knew that they would be beneficial to me, rather than just doing what I was told. I was able to feel what was happening and sort of slightly modify things so that I knew that they were going to be as beneficial as possible.
Yes, and you kind of feel it, you kind of feel it when it actually healed as well, no? Like when, I felt it actually. So I broke my legs, so it's like bone healing. But when I visited my surgeon, he told me it's healed. So the X-ray showed, but I knew it like 2 weeks before. I was like trying to walk as well, because you feel this, like, you recover, you feel it. I think so. If you are enough aware of your body, you do. I truly believe in this. So actually the dancing, so you find dancing to recover quicker. So all those exercises, that was very beneficial for you. So that's what you actually said. So what would you recommend to others with which kind of exercise or which kind of activities they should do?
Well, I think it's really important to do what your physiotherapists tell you to do when you're recovering. I think it's so important. Quite a few people I know who've had total knee replacements haven't had a good recovery. And that's because they just haven't done what they've been told. You know, one of the big problems with knee replacements is going up and down stairs. And it's very, very scary at first, really scary. And so, and I know quite a few people who just didn't do it because they were too scared. And so therefore, it really hinders their recovery, and it hinders their emotional recovery as well, because they're not doing the things that they need to do to continue with their lives. And they start to feel that they're old and they're disabled, because knee replacements is typically something that we have when we're older. And I think it does, it comes in with sort of getting older, and so you become generally less mobile. But of course, the danger is if you don't do the things that you're told to do, you're pulling your recovery back, and you're also you're also accelerating the aging process. If you become somebody who's scared to go up and down stairs, then obviously that's not good for your life mobility and for your sense of self as an active person. So really, I would say, obviously, depending on what injuries we have or what operations we have, we're given different exercises. And I truly believe that we must do as we're told, and we've got to do those things. And then gradually get yourself back slowly without rushing things. I'm making myself sound like I was kind of like, I'm going to keep, I'm going to get out there and do stuff. But I did take it carefully. I wasn't silly about it, because there were certain things that I did where I did too much, and then it put me back for maybe 2 days. And so then I would rest, to be honest. If I overdid it, I sometimes wouldn't do the exercises for a day because I knew that I had overdone it. So you just have to kind of like listen to your body and do what you're told, but don't try and rush it. But at the same time, don't be frightened to kind of like push your body a little bit further than it wants to go. In fact, I think that's important. That was something that was important to me, was the exercises. Some of those exercises were really painful, but I knew that they had to be done. So I would just try and do them and sort of breathe through it, just try and be as relaxed as possible while I did those exercises. There were simple things about sort of bending, because one of the most important things is being able to bend your knees after a total knee replacement. And it really does hurt. It really does hurt. But what I did was I just tried to, make sure that I relaxed as much as possible and was prepared to keep going even though it was painful, because I knew it had to be done.
Yeah. Well, I was actually doing a different trick. I knew how to schedule and how much medication I need to take. So when I knew I'm going to do like more exercises, more active that day, I scheduled to take the medication, the stronger medication, to that time of the day. And then I could do I could do the exercises what I wanted. But sometimes I had like made mistakes as well. I was late for 1 hour or something, and then I was doing more, and then I felt it the next day. I felt it, and then this is very hard to find a balance between these two. How much you do, how much medication you take. Yeah, I do. I do believe in this. Yeah. So, and then about the because I experienced, personally, I experienced depression, and I saw it in a lot of patients on my page that actually they say, after around like 1 month, 6 weeks after the surgery, they get kind of depressed because obviously they can't mobilize as much as they could before. So, well, I've got my own techniques what to do in this case, but I would like to, hear yours as well. Maybe you can say something new as well.
I think probably for someone like me, where it was scheduled surgery that was going to enable me to be active in a way that I hadn't been before, I think there's less danger of that. I think for someone like you, where you have a traumatic experience, a deeply traumatic experience that you're not expecting, suddenly that's it, your life's changed. I would expect depression to be a major factor there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I knew it. I mean, really, it gave me my life back. It gave me my life back. And so it was joyful for me, although it was difficult at times. And of course, there were times when, especially in the night when you couldn't sleep. And I'm laughing because I'm remembering one of the things I belonged to a support group. That's the other thing I would say. One of the best things I did was I joined a support group for people who've had total knee replacements.
Mm-hmm.
A support group on Facebook, a Facebook group, mm-hmm. and it was specifically for UK. So it's called Total Knee Replacement UK. And it was amazing. It was the very, very best thing. So supportive, and the thing is, a lot of us were awake in the middle of the night because one of the big things is you can't sleep because of the pain. And so we were all able to sort of chat to ourselves, to each other at 3 o'clock in the morning. And one of the other things was that somebody recommended that we used cabbage leaves, that was very good to reduce swelling. So we were all wrapping cabbage leaves around our knees. We were all sleeping with cabbage leaves around our knees. It was very funny. And it was very hot. My first knee replacement was in the summer. And it was very, very hot. So I was very, very sweaty and very smelly with all these smelly cabbage leaves.
Well, it's the less what you think about that time, yeah.
But for me, after years of not being able to, for quite a few years, I wasn't able to walk even 100 yards. And going up, and I would always have to negotiate. If I was going somewhere, I would be thinking, if I'm going to the train station, I have to get to a train station where there aren't too many stairs, because going up and down stairs was really painful. And I was having to drag myself up. So, and things like going for a walk with my husband. I live out in the country. We couldn't go for a walk. I remember one time we went away. He had to have a hip replacement. He had to schedule his hip replacement in between my knee replacements. So, and I remember one time we went away to the seaside. I can't remember where it was now, but to Colchester. And we were sort of sitting on, we wanted to walk along the beach and we couldn't, because we were needless. We just had to kind of sit on the bench. We felt like two old people, couldn't even walk along the beach. We just had to sit. So for me, having the knee replacement, I had something to look forward to. So my dream was always, I want to walk along the cliffs in Dorset. That's still something that I've still got in my head. I will walk along the cliffs of Dorset. To be able to walk that distance was a dream for me. And so the knee replacement for me was something that would bring me towards my dream of being mobile again.
Yes.
So I think that's why I don't think I really got depressed afterwards. It was because I was able to look forward.
I see. So, well, what you say, if you have enough motivation or motivated enough, then it's much easier to go through the whole procedure of the recovery. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I do believe in this as well, because I experienced that as well, but I lost it somewhere. This motivation.
I can understand that. But I can understand that in your case, because your situation was very different from mine, in that you were young, it was a very traumatic accident that you happened, your life suddenly changed. Whereas for me, it was something that I'd been expecting and I was looking forward to. It was something that was going to actually make me more mobile and make me able to embrace life more. So it was a much more positive experience for me.
I see. Well, I remember because I had first they fixed my legs, but one of my leg was actually 2 centimeters shorter, and they suggested to wait a couple of years and then the lengthening surgery. So I was waiting for that as well, and then I had the surgery. And to be honest with you, I've got kind of more depressed after this lengthening surgery than the previous one and the accident. Probably because of the medication I was getting.
Right. Yeah.
But and then the second one, I didn't want to take medication. I was taking it for like a month, and then I maybe occasionally, but not really, because I was thinking like, okay, this is not that painful like the first one was, so it's okay. So but somehow, because I couldn't mobilize, that was the problem. And and well, I was looking forward to go. Well, you are actually right, because I didn't know if I'm going to be able to perform anymore. So I was just doing this surgery to walk again normally, but I couldn't see the future, how it's going to be, and probably that's why they lose motivations, like other patients, I would say. Because in your case, you've got your company and everything, so you know you need to go back there, and you will go anyways. It's kind of a different story. Yeah.
That's right. And I had the teaching. I to be perfectly honest, I hadn't expected to get back to performing because of my age. I'd given up. I didn't know that I'd retired. So I said, 7 years ago, I said, a little bit less now, probably I was, I stopped performing about 7 or 8 years ago. And I think I probably announced that I had retired a couple of years after that. And told everybody, and I sold all my costumes, I sold all my belly dancing stuff.
No.
I'm not sold. I mean, I gave away my belly dance makeup, I gave away to my granddaughter. I had a big box of glitter and everything. My granddaughter, and I sold my costumes. And I just come to terms with the fact that I wasn't going to perform. So when I decided to do a performance, my first performance was in November last year. So a year after my second replacement, just under 11 months after my second replacement. I hadn't expected to, but I was invited to teach in Tewkesbury, which is in southwest of England. And I don't know, I just thought they were going to have a Hafla, which is like a showcase. We know in Denmark we have something called a Hafla, which is kind of like a party and a showcase all together. And I said, I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna perform. I don't know why I decided, but I said, I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna come out of retirement. So I hadn't expected to, but I did, and I'm very glad I did. Yeah. Except I have to buy more costumes again.
It's always good to buy more costumes. There's never enough costumes.
Yes.
Yes. And I was going to ask you as well, did you use any or tried any like acupuncture or a massage or masseur or something like this for your legs?
Yeah. So particularly before the knee replacement, because of the osteoarthritis, the muscles get very, very short because the body is trying to stabilize and hold the joint still because it's trying to protect it. So the muscles become very, very tight and very short. So I had a lot of massage to try and release the muscles. Acupuncture, I didn't really try. I've tried it in the past and it hasn't really particularly worked for me. But as I say, I did try turmeric, which is very good. That was good for pain. And then I also tried CBD, which and it didn't really. And I didn't really like the feeling, and I didn't really like the taste, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't make you drugged. It doesn't have any of the sort of the cannabis drug effects, but it does make you relaxed in a sort of slightly odd way, I thought, and so I decided not to do that. But I know it's very helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've never tried it. Well, I said, I told myself, after this accident, that pain is a part of my body, so I need to deal with it. Yeah, but not in a negative way, but in a positive way, because when there is a pain, it shows something that you do something wrong, your body. So it's actually a good sign from your body. Yes.
And you can do things even when you are in pain. I mean, obviously you're having to modify, but you still can keep going. And I think I would have been worried if I was on strong painkillers and trying to walk a long way. I would be worrying that I was doing something that wasn't good for my body. Do you know what I mean? That the pain, as you say, is there to protect you, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. You can control your movements more if you feel the pain, actually.
Yeah.
So you stop it when it's real
Yeah.
pain. When it's
Yeah.
just a little pain, you can still push it. That's how you know, and that's how you grow and recover. Yeah. And well, we were talking about the physios, but because I did, so did you find anything like similar as a belly dance movement or just dance movement as physio?
No, not for me.
No.
And I mean, yes, I mean, with knee replacement, the main thing that you're trying to do is to stretch and to strengthen. So it's very much all the emphasis is on trying to get the knee to bend. So it's stretching the tendons and the muscles and strengthening the quadriceps, particularly, and the hamstrings, because you're trying to, just strengthen up those muscles so that you get, so that they're pulling the upper leg, the tibia, is it, away from the knees. So you're always trying to strengthen those muscles. So that's different from belly dance moves. But what I did was, as soon as I could, as soon as I was mobile, I was starting to try and do my belly dance moves again. And I, just little by little, I remember that I had my first surgery in May. And then by July, I was really starting to try and dance again. Not very well, but I was trying to dance again. So after about 3 months, I was trying to dance again.
Yeah.
No, actually, yes, about 3 months. I suppose about 10.
3 months, yeah. Well, I absolutely believe in that. Absolutely. After you said all your stories and stuff, yes, I do believe. Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you as well another one, which is very important. Do you feel like a difference that you've got the implant or the metal in your leg? Do you feel a difference?
Yes. So there's two things. One is was very strange at first, and that is that it clicks. When you walk, it clicks. Oh. And sometimes you get a little double click. So as you're walking along, it goes good-un. So you feel a bit like a robot because you're very aware of it. I'm not aware of that in the same way, and I don't know whether that's just because my brain has now sort of just kind of blanked it out. After a while, you don't feel these things. But I'm very, very lucky that the nerves around I'm just hitting my knee now here just to check. But one of the things is they say that you don't get the feeling back in the knee because of you have a very big cut, and that's one of the major nerves. But in fact, I've got the feeling back in both of them. One of the amazing things is I don't have any pain inside my knee. So people say, but don't your knees hurt? No, my knees never hurt because I don't have anything in there to hurt. What does hurt is the ligaments outside, the tendons and the ligaments around, of course. They can be a little bit sore. But no, I have no pain at all. I can do a slut drop. I can just drop down to the floor.
Wow, that's nice. Because, well, I'm thinking as well that because they remove the cartilage there.
Yeah.
On both on the femur and the tibia as well, and then they replace it with like a metal kind of thing. Yeah, that's how I saw like a 3D kind of video on YouTube. I usually watch those things. I love those kind of things, and it's
they cut the cruciate ligament, so I don't have a cruciate ligament,
which is inside. Like inside the things, I see. But they should fix it with something because you have to have that because just outside, the joint, the ligaments probably is not enough. I don't know. I'm not a surgeon, but I'm just thinking.
They take away one of the cruciate ligaments. So you have two cruciate ligaments, and I only have one now. Because they have to take it away because otherwise they can't get in. They can't actually physically get in and do the replacement. So they take that away, and instead I have like a post. It's a post that goes in, and that takes the place of the. And I think it's that makes it kind of clunk. I think it's the post. Yes, yeah. So it's not. So it feels very stable. I'm just trying to think. My eyes are going up because I'm trying to think. It feels very stable. It feels a little bit different. It sometimes feels a bit heavy because, of course, it is a little bit heavy. But my muscles are used to lifting it up. But the one that's only 18 months old sometimes feels a bit heavy to lift up, because it's a big lump of metal in there, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird, but I think it's an amazing that surgeons can do those kind of things, like, they're giving you like 20 more years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I know, and it has really given me my life back, and I'm performing and being able to, and also it's nice because it's, I can inspire other people to say, yeah, I can keep dancing even if I'm older, and even if I've had surgery, I can still keep dancing. I don't have to give up, and that's that to me is great to be able to do that.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel for you. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And well, so what is your next move? Are you in any kind of project right now? Because I heard something in January. You started. What was the name?
Online. So I started something called Undeniables Online. So I have a mentoring project that I've been doing for 3 years, which is one-to-one mentoring with advanced and professional dancers. That's aimed at making them better performers, and it depends on what people want to do. But some of the people I'm working with want an international career, or they want to sort of be known better in their own country, in the UK or whatever. But it's really about raising the standard and the professionalism of dancers who are really committed to the dance, so particularly advanced and professional dancers. So I've been doing that for 3 years, and I do that in partnership with a very famous dancer from America who's called Aziza. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to work more with people who were at more of an intermediate level, and also people who were at an advanced level who were away from my geographic area. So most of the people that I do the one-to-one mentoring with live in London or the Southeast. So I wanted to be able to kind of reach out to people all over the UK and beyond. So that's why I started the online version. And the online version is lessons, and it's a community. So it's online classes and sort of online classes on a website that people can access anytime. But then I also do lessons by Zoom. So it means that people can join from anywhere. So I've just had somebody join from Guatemala. I have somebody else in Brazil, and I have someone else in America. And they can all be part of my community, and I can teach them, and also sort of I help them, mentor them and guide them if they want my guidance. So it is all done online.
I see. I just, for the viewers, they can see all your contacts where they can find you.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Yeah. So, and it's, I saw your YouTube channel. You are on Facebook as well, and on Insta as well. So, they can find you easier.
Yes, my YouTube channel hasn't done very much with a long time, but I'm going to be doing quite a lot on YouTube in the next few weeks. I'm going to start my YouTube channel properly. I've been mainly concentrating on Facebook and Instagram, but my next project is my YouTube channel. And then I want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
You're the first person I've told that. I'm going to start a podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
So you're the first to know this.
Oh, sorry, what?
So you're the first person to know this, that I'm going to start a podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to it. Yeah, actually, I'm listening your lives as well on Facebook. So yes.
Thank you. Well, I want to do a podcast that is about that is inspirational. So I want it to be in belly dance inspiration. So just things to inspire women to dance, or how to get more out of their dancing, but also to talk to people to other inspirational. Talking to inspirational women who can inspire people in one way or another.
I see.
Mm.
So would it be available in on your YouTube channel or on Facebook as well?
The podcast will be. I haven't actually organised that yet, but it'd be one that you can access on Spotify and iTunes and wherever people get their podcasts. But all the things that I do on my podcast will also be on my YouTube channel, so people can access it on the YouTube channel. And the YouTube channels should be starting in a few weeks' time.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I just filmed something yesterday for it, and we're working on the the graphics for the YouTube channel tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a hard work, I know. Yes. All right. So yeah, we look forward to your podcast as well and all your new things. Like we want to hear from you, obviously, because you are so inspirational for others, and yes, like in the UK as well, and a lot of people actually following you. So yes,
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for asking me to do this, Miriam. I really, I'm very honored to have been asked to do this.
Thank you very much, because I know like lots of people, they are reaching out for informations and stuff. It would be very, very beneficial for them. So that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, well, I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. Absolutely wonderful thing. Yeah.
Thank you. So lovely. So thank you very much, everyone, to watching us today. And so you can see Charlotte's contact details here, and you can contact me anytime, or actually probably Charlotte as well, if you have any questions. And so see you in the future. See you next week in the next recovery talk. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte, for being with us today.
I'm very honored. Thank you very much for asking me.
Yes. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.